Bassmaster Her is a dedicated Bassmaster initiative designed to encourage, educate, and empower women in bass fishing, focusing on building a supportive, inclusive community. Under the motto, Built by Women, Powered by Passion, it serves as a central hub for connection, mentoring, and showcasing female anglers through workshops and storytelling. Scan the QR code or register for one of the upcoming Bassmaster Her workshops.
Finally, a spy bait you can throw with confidence so you're not going to lose fish. This is the Stay Pin spy bait. You know, the biggest problem with spy baits is that they get so many bites, but you lose so many fish. With this third breakaway hook on top, we know that our landing percentage is going to be so much higher, and we can catch that big fish rather than seeing that fish throw our bait on that first jump.
We do the impossible. Take off like a rocket. Fly across water. We hunt monsters, armed with only rod and reel. We stay silent as a ghost and outduel the others, be they fish or foe. We chase the extraordinary, and that is why Mercury means more.
Discover the hidden gems and pristine waters of Tennessee's B.A.S.S signature lakes. Conveniently located throughout Tennessee, there's a signature lake near you, covering all regions of the volunteer state, all endorsed by the legendary Bill Dance himself. Whether it's a weekend getaway or an extended vacation, create timeless memories at Tennessee's Bill Dance signature lakes. Plan your trip today.
When every cast counts, are you truly zeroed in? If your transducer isn't perfectly aligned, you're missing fish, period. Meet the zeroed in mount from Beat Down Outdoors, built from heavy-duty aluminum and stainless steel. Switch between forward, down, and perspective modes in seconds. No tools. Get zeroed in.
Bass fishing can make you sore. Bucks Island understands that catching a big bass or weighing a big bag can make you feel like you're flying. We know how to help you take off like we do our Falcon boats and Yamaha Pro West Logan. Come see us and land on the top of the perch. Visit Bucks Island, your top Falcon boats dealer, located at 4500 Highway 77 in Southside, Alabama. Call 1-800-I'm-READY or visit us online at bucksisland.com.
Find our way and choose to get lost again. We are the detourists. Toyota trucks. Let's go places.
Top 7, the Bassmaster Elite Series is back in your life. Axum Tires Bassmaster Elite at the Pasquotank River. And it's kind of wrongly named a river. Because when you think of a river, you think of narrower, meandering. But this is a downright ocean. And I don't remember an event that I've seen more ropes and tie downs and straps to keep equipment on when our anglers left this morning. And makes a lot of sense when you look where we're located right here on the edge of the coast, Albemarle Sound. Hey, it doesn't look that but a gigantic space, because it doesn't look that big because it's right beside literally the ocean. And I want to welcome you into our on-location coverage here, Bassmaster Livecast. Myself and Cal Jesse going to be breaking down the action for the next hour, and we're inside our cushy new studio, Kyle. New trailer. I mean, we don't own it. We just get it for the weekend. But thanks to the fine folks at Yamaha for letting us roll into their trailer this week and continue this coverage. And RIP to our former studio.
It was a good run. We had a really good run. But as you mentioned, here inside the Yamaha trailer this week, and cozy spot. It's not bad, Dave.
Well, the air conditioning is kicking, and I'm all for this. I mean, you might have had to burn down that trailer, Kyle, but whatever did you fixed the seats earlier this year, and now you have fixed the trailer, and it might have involved some arson, but I'm all here for it. If that's what it took, I appreciate it. And well, looky there, we're being joined by our guest. We're gonna keep him out a secret for a little while, but I guess we've decided not to do that. Who is joining us here this week, Kyle Jesse?
Eric Robertson, local angler, tournament angler, had the opportunity to speak with him and Matt Greshik, our good friend, leading into this tournament. And Eric was nice enough to join us today and hopefully provide some good insight on what's going on out on the water today.
We'll get caught up with Eric here in a minute, but let's get caught up with what's been going on in the water with our Bassmaster midday report. And we'll start things off with a three-time Bassmaster winner, the only human ever to go back-to-back in the Bass Nation National Championship, and that is Alabama's Will Davis.
Winner of the Fan Cam, the Bassmaster Fan Cam for this event, just narrowly edged out Mike Iaconelli. For Will Davis this morning, it's been relatively slow. Was able to catch a limit fairly quickly, but certainly not where he needs to be right now. 38th place, 6 pounds, 13 ounces, but a long ways to go. One of the guys that opted to stay relatively close, maximize his fishing time, and earlier told us that he was going to make a run and try to upgrade his bag. So certainly going to be an interesting afternoon for Will Davis Jr.
A lot of anglers talking about how different it was this time around. Obviously, a lot warmer, a lot more solidity. We'll get into that, some reasons why this area in a major drought, and that's got to be a major reason why. But we'll get into that with Eric here in just a minute once we get caught up on what happened on the water. But let's join a guy that I'm excited to finally see on camera because we're used to seeing him a lot. But in 2026, that has not been the case up to this point, and that is John Cox. And a day with the camera on John Cox is always a good day.
There's no doubt about it. Every time you hear John Cox laugh or that giggle after he catches one, I mean, it just brightens your day. As you mentioned, such a weird season for John Cox to this point. Obviously, a lot of guys pointing towards a guy like John Cox to have a real chance at Angler of the Year, always up there, pushing for that title, but certainly been a struggle a lot this season. The last 4 events, finished inside the 50s, but, just narrowly missing the cut. So good to see John Cox off to a good start here. 28th place, 8 pounds, 4 ounces, doing a little bit of his damage on a frog, which I'm all for that. I hope we get to see some more of that this afternoon. Catching that big one earlier on the bridge, said that he thought all they were going to catch was mudfish, but turns out he's catching a few bass out there as well.
Well, this event's going to turn things around for a lot of anglers, hopefully John Cox, and also Kyle Patrick. An uncharacteristically tough year, recovering after missing a few events last year. He had that crazy kick bite that ended up enlarging his heart, and he's trying to shake that kick off because things just have not felt right for him in 2026.
No, you're exactly right. It's obviously been a whirlwind, last 365 days for Kyle Patrick. Last year having a phenomenal season before the tick bite, and obviously having to sit out the rest of the season. This year, had a tough start at Gunnersville, bounced back at Martin, then had a few tough ones in a row, and we had him on livecast not that long ago. He was down in the dumps, but certainly off to a fantastic start here. Currently sitting in 16 pounds, 9 ounces. Really interesting morning for him. Told us, on live that he was going to make a run to the Perquimans. But this morning at takeoff, I saw him and Chris Zaldane talking to each other. Chris Zaldane encouraged him to stay close, fish by the bridge that Zaldane started on as well. And that move certainly paid off. Give him a lot of credit. Hayheads gave a lot of credit to Chris Zaldane.
I don't know if he can hear us, but somebody needs to tell me that little something.
I need to catch a 5-pounder. Plain and simple. I have 16 in the live well, 16 pounds, which honestly is pretty damn good, it feels like, or darn good, excuse me. And, I'm just thankful that got a little clue from Chris. Finished the day out strong. I would run up to my stuff because I know I could catch a couple 4-pounders, but it's so far up and I have a good enough bag, I can't risk it. So I just kind of have to keep fishing along and hope that, hope I run into, just a big one, like a 4 or 5 pounder. Look at them rolling right there, bait fish. there's so many bait fish, live scope isn't even effective. You just have to, oh, look, right at the, that's wild. I want a bigger one than that though.
Going through a whole series of baits, tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it seems like that swim bait I first started throwing, the Zal Dangerous one, or whatever, I think it's the Bass Mafia, whatever, Zaldane came up with it. I think that's the best by far, but I think that, as long as you're presenting it at the same speed that these bait fish are kind of cruising at the surface, you're gonna get bit. Now, I don't think I don't think anything's as good. I would say if anything, the Spook would be a close second. I mean, they were biting that thing. But I think, like I said, I think it's just the cadence and the area. You got to be around those like bigger bait fish. Man, is it cool to catch them like this. Just need one more, man. Honestly, part of me, I'm pretty close to going and just scoping stumps. Now that you say, and now that, I'm talking through my game plan with you guys, because like I think that's the way to catch a lucky like 6 or 7 pounder. I think it'll be very hard for me to catch a 6 or 7 here doing this. Like this is like a bunch of keeper type deal. A lot of keepers. I think if I go fish some stumps, I could catch a 6 or a 7, which would be the icing on the cake.
Make a move over to John Cox, but as he makes that move, Eric, you like his way of thinking? Moving to the stumps and start scoping now?
I do like his way of thinking because that particular trussel there, I know there's been a lot going on there in the last couple of weeks. I think those post spawners have been kind of coming out and setting up there. One thing that happens there too is depending on the wind and that current, when it starts settling down, really even in close proximity to that
it's
trussel,
a little slow. The water's
I still feel like he
probably
can pick
about
up
a
a
foot
good
higher
one
than
on
it
a
was in
stump or a tree there.
practice. I haven't been able to see any of the bluegill beds or anything like that. It's been just kind of stagnant. We got 4 in there. We got 2 decent ones. I'm hoping that tide will fall, so we'll either, be able to get out and maybe when it starts falling, it'll suck some of these fish out to the outside, or just change it up a little bit, because I really thought we were going to be frogging the whole time, and a lot of the scum and stuff is gone. I don't know if it might have got a pretty good amount of rain last night here, and kind of changed it some, but we're going to keep at it. I mean, I want to catch them on braid, either swim jigging or frogging, but I don't know if they're going to let me do it too much more. But maybe as the day goes on. See, look at there, something's following it. Oh. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, here we go. All right. It's the kind of stuff that should be
How big of a factor is the tide here? I remember last time people talked about tide, but it's not an extreme tide like we're used to seeing in a lot of other places.
It is a big factor, especially on the north side of the sound. What they're seeing, he spoke of rain, but actually more than likely, probably what happened was throughout the night when we had that heavy wind, it swelled that side of the sound, and then once that starts pulling out, it almost flushes that creek or that river system that he's in. So he might see it different today because you really have new water. It pulls in and then it pulls out, and it can clean up, or sometimes it can actually change the clarity of it.
What kind of difference in level are we looking at? Like, does it come up a lot?
It can depend on the strength of your wind. We've had a lot of east winds this year, more so than I can remember. And I know, living on Pembroke is where I live in Edenton, and there's some days that it'll swell into the parking lot at a boat ramp, and then within 3 or 4 hours later, it's 1.5 feet low. So when that happens, a lot of people don't even realize that's happening. It drastically changes the fishing.
A wind a big factor here, whether it's for tide or whether it's to do with waves. A lot of ratchet straps, a lot of ropes, a lot of configurations going on this morning. And, well, I hope the service guys are limbering up because relax now. Get the relaxation while you can. We'll be right back. Maxim Tire, Bassmaster Elite at Pasquotank.
Where am I going? I don't know. Where am I heading? I ain't certain. All I know is I am on my way. When will I be there? I don't know. When will I get there? I ain't certain. All I know is I am on my way. Where am I going? I don't know. What will I get? I ain't equipped to say.
Toyota trucks. Let's go places.
What do you get when you mix a hand-poured soul and high-tech production? You get nothing other than a collaboration between Yum and Scottsboro Tackle, the Sniper Shad. Designed to hunt with its pintail design and signature rolling action, it delivers a realistic motion that stays stable even on the slowest retrieves. The new injection molding design will give you a perfect bait right out of the package. The Sniper Shad is the minnow you need.
She grew up fast. Will she remember these times and continue the tradition? You better believe it. Tell a new fish story with Garmin.
Is your trolling motor working for you, or are you working for your motor? Minn Kota Ultrex trolling motors are built to outmaneuver anything, so all you have to focus on is the bass. Steering with unrivaled precision from an ultra-responsive foot pedal, getting you to the fish day after day, and turning any spot into a stronghold season after season. Minn Kota Ultrex is built to fish.
Born in Japan, using technology, innovation, and precision, Sunline produces the widest selection of fishing lines at the most technologically advanced line factory in the world. Manufactured at the strictest tolerances to produce victories at the highest levels of tournament bass fishing. From household names like Christie, Swindle, and Cruz, to young guns like Cook, Logan, New, and Welcher, they all trust Sunline to take them to the top of the leaderboard. Choose the line that will give you the strength to guarantee your confidence. Sunline.
On the water, nothing stays the same. Conditions shift, pressure builds. The anglers who rise are the ones who adjust. Every cast, every decision. Strike King has lived that truth from the start. From our first spinner baits to the baits shaping what's next. New water, new technology, new challenges. So we build what anglers need to stay a cast ahead. Strike King, tie one on.
everything on there is unofficial, what we're seeing right now, but it gets official when they weigh in this afternoon. Yeti Hot Seat, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Bassmaster.com. Don't miss it if we were loading our hot seat right now. And then the Yeti Hot Seat would be your 2024 Bassmaster Classic champion, Justin Hamner. Off a good event, another good one here, and be great sitting in that hot seat. And I will, Kyle Jesse, as a Elvis man, I will tell you that hot seat's going to be a little extra hot here today. I mean, if you open the door here from our cushy compound here in the Yamaha trailer, it basically feels like when you open an oven.
Yeah, it's very hot outside.
Yeah.
The hot seat is going to be literally hot.
Speaking of hot, won this tournament by over 45 pounds last year, set the all-time record for the greatest win margin. Stone Cold Kyle Welcher. Different game from this year. One.
All right, so been fishing for 2 hours now. And I thought about 1 bite an hour was about right. Unfortunately, I've caught some small ones today. But I want to go ahead and run everything real fast before I sit down and kind of grind it in an area, just in case I could pick up a couple easy ones fast. And I wasn't really able to do that. So now we're just going to settle down and hopefully pick the right spot and catch us 3 or 4 more. We really need 3 bites to be in good shape. But biggest thing is we got to survive today, because I expect today to be, probably the toughest weight-wise, just because of the time constraints. Everybody's not going to get to fish as long as they will the rest of the week, just because navigation. So we just need to survive today.
That's a whole different attitude than we saw from him last year. When everybody made giant long runs, he stayed close to home, didn't go to the gas station once, and literally had zero stress. That was just an awesome performance last year, the greatest win margin ever. Did that shock you last year, what he did?
The total weight shocked me a little bit, especially with the weather. The weather had turned so drastically and cooled down. I didn't know exactly, but I figured a century belt would potentially happen here.
That winning weight margin that he had last year makes, Ronnie and I talked about it on the podcast this week, it makes every other winning weight margin not seem very impressive. Like, we just came from Santee Cooper, where Chris Johnston wins by 19-plus pounds and 4th biggest winning weight margin. And I feel like nobody even talked about it because, 45 pounds comparatively is a whole nother game. I mean, you could have given the rest of the top 10 2 more days to fish, and they likely would not have caught it.
When Patrick Walters set the record of, 29 pounds, I thought that would never be beat. And that made so much more sense to me, because when Patrick did that, he did that kind of on the precipice of forward-facing sonar. It was the big breakout event where people are like, what is this guy doing? And that all made sense to me, that he dominated in such a strong way in that. And I'm like, that'll never be beat.
Right.
But to see what Kyle did here, I mean, that's almost humiliating. Like, I mean, you want to talk about rubbing salt in? Oh, you had a rough boat ride, did you? Yeah, I never, ever even put on a rain gear all week. It was just easy for him.
I'm just not seeing near as many.
And Patrick, during that win, too, he was fishing for fish that really weren't getting fished for, because forward facing was so new, and they were out in the timber like that, and those fish were new fish. And with what happened here, those fish get pressure. They're shallow fish. I mean, a lot of the guys here are fishing shallow all the time. So
how many guys you think in pre-fish check that spot?
Well, actually, at this time, I only had 3.
Well, I am a bit surprised to not see anyone fishing the bridge here, because I know this bridge has been pretty hot as well, and is very close to where he caught them last year. So, but I'm sure that area got checked extensively.
What do you think? Do you think more people check that spot in pre-fish, or more people will fish a urchin-style bait here this week?
Oh, man. I mean, That's a really good question. That's really hard to compare. You'd have to think just about everybody kept the spot on us just on their way back to the ramp if they were, were to put in here. But I don't know. The urchin obviously is a hot commodity.
Get over to Will Davis Jr. Did a great job in live coverage for the
I
Open.
couldn't buy a bite if I paid $1 million for one. It's just one of them deals that the tide is really high, and I think it's kind of like it's just stalled out, and we need it to be falling. So we got plenty of time. We're gonna fish a little bit longer in here, and then might make that treacherous run back to Pasquotank. Just been a grind. Like I told David a while ago, cameraman, that this is the second day in 4 days that I've caught a limit, so it's not been the easiest. So seeing a lot of fish. It's just, I don't know if they're bass, sharks, or what they are. A lot of gar, I know that. Some bait. I've been getting 3 bites to 4 bites a day, and that's whew, you want to talk about challenging mentally. I told my wife last night, I said, I don't know if I want to puke or what, but this tournament right here has got my number so far. It's just like, you got to roll the dice, and I don't know if you roll the right one or not, but I'm kind of wishing I went to the Chowan, but so many guys going there, it's just one of them deals that I don't know if you got enough time to get gas and fish and everything else, so I'll have to saddle up and send it tomorrow.
Well, not that I want him to puke, but I will say the last time we seen an angler puke on camera, he did go on to win that Elite Series title. But let's check in with Kyle Patrick. He'd puke and rally and win an event for us. I know he would. It's well worth it.
I do know one thing. That sound out there is...
I know, let's stay here.
Really no place for a bass boat when that wind gets to whooping it. Got the best boat.
Oh, let's head over to Kyle Norsetter.
Right out.
Hot off Phoenix Boat's Big Bass of the Year performance at our last event.
Another little one.
If he gets through this one with that title, he'll win it for the year. Ooh.
Yes. Finally, we actually caught a fish. Rail, but we don't need the board for that one. $115.
115?
Yep.
Kyle Norsetter slowly putting together a pretty incredible Elite Series career, made back-to-back Bassmaster Classics. But another guy trying to put it together is Kyle Patrick, Norristown, New York.
I think
Elite Series Pro and a 2-time Classic.
I'm not saying like I'm comfortable with this bag, but it's pretty darn good bag, 16, 10, almost 17
Looks
pounds.
like he's in the no weight
And
zone.
I know I need to cull one, but it's like, I don't want to go all the way up there. That's what's weird about this place is like, you have to commit to one area, and if it doesn't work out, you're in big trouble because your next area might be 50 miles up the sound. And like I said, my main objective today was to run all the way up to the back of this creek I'm in. Obviously the bridge thing panned out, so I don't need to do that. But I can't do that now. Like, it takes probably 40 minutes to get up there. Now it's 12:40. I'd have like 20 minutes to fish up there. So, I mean, it's either burn this to the ground, which I don't really feel like doing. I'll probably make 2 or 3 passes and then run some new stuff in the Pasquotank maybe to end the day, just so I know that I'm safe there and wind's not going to get too crazy or do anything nuts. I mean, we're literally on the ocean, so anything can happen. So I want to play it safe. We're gonna go fish this bridge though. Come on.
Well, don't be confused. That is not the clown from Living Color. That is Cal Patrick. Oh, I'm bad with technology here. It's tough. Oh, it doesn't work. It would have been great if it did, but it didn't. We'll work on it next segment. We're back.
It's the moment when everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. A relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
How do you stop backlashes without killing your cast? The Paramag system uses a radial paramagnetic design that applies even force across the entire brake surface, creating perfect spool balance and smooth, silent operation. No friction, no noise, just control. All without a single battery. Elite performance is no longer just for the elite. The Paramag braking system. Feel the difference.
Evolution doesn't just happen. It's engineered, refined by experience, and built to dominate. This is the next evolution.
There's a big one in the reeds ahead. I know it. He doesn't care who I am, what titles I have, how many blue trophies I got, that I've fished since I could walk, or that I've spent countless hours on the water for this moment. It's me versus the fish, and I like to win.
Look at that freaking Bronco board, baby. There's a kid named Fisher and Naya. That's the next
one. Innovation doesn't wait. It adapts, evolves, and transforms how anglers tackle every challenge on the water. For anglers seeking smarter gear, sharper performance, and new ways to master their craft, FXR Pro Fish is shaping the future and influencing the next generation of anglers. Every cast and every legacy starts here.
The brands you trust all in one place. From iconic brands such as Bill Lewis, Big Bite, RoboWorm, and Yamamoto baits, to the new designs from Buka Brand and Frog Factory. Tie on with confidence, Buckeye lures, and fish it right. Phoenix rods, Dobbins rods, and Northland tackle. Everything you need and nothing you don't. Baits.com. Get rigged, get bit.
The Yamaha V-Max SHO. Pure Yamaha DNA designed for reliability and performance. Yamaha's brawny 4.2-liter big block cranks out massive power. Quick out of the hole with sizzling top speed. Unleash the power with 70 amps of charging ability for today's power-hungry electronics. Yamaha V-Max SHO. The game changer still dominates.
Bassmaster Livecast, back in your life. Want to thank you all for joining us. Stop of the season. Hard to believe. This event and the next two. The smallest of them is that little lake named Lake Champlain is the smallest one. A great live coverage brought to you by Garmin. A great tournament we're having here, and we don't know a lot about this fishery because everything that everybody talked about last time was the tournament champion who won by 45 pounds. He did it right around the corner. We're seeing the big runs that everybody talked about this time. Let's get out in the water right now with Kyle Norsetter, who I said a minute ago, your eyes on him putting together a pretty incredible Elite Series career. Has qualified for the last two classics and on pace to do that again here this year, I believe.
Yes. Come on, baby. They ain't giants, but it's starting. We don't need that measuring board. Dude, they're barely hitting it the first try. And then they're coming back and walloping it. I keep putting this away. Shattered my screen before I came here. Had to buy another new $200-something scale.
Oh boy.
Never good. $112. Watch your foot, bud.
Number 3, 112, right?
Yep, 112. Oh, yes.
Oh, I know what that music means. Skeeter Boats Big Fish Alert. Cody Huff with a 7-pounder. And we're starting to hear a few bigger bites. Do you think that's because they're just coming in now, or is this a key bite window, what we're rolling into right now?
I feel like it's probably a bite window. You'll see that fluctuate certain days. You'll see that a lot on the Chowan, a lot of the rivers on the northern side of the Sound, you'll see bite windows on for sure.
That 7-pounder is going to put Cody Huff up into first place right now, 20 pounds, 6 ounces.
Ooh. 7-pounder will go a long, long way. 4 box right now. Kyle Welcher, John Cox, Kyle Norsetter, and Kyle Patrick. One of these things is not like the other one. Let's just call him Kyle Cox.
That's been going off all day. Yeah, it's so calm and quiet. I can hear it. Usually I can't in there.
I am glad to see Kyle Patrick go back to that bridge midday like this. When the sun gets high, it casts a shadow on that bottom board, and they'll get super tight to it. And he should get another good bite there, I feel like.
While we're watching this, and hopefully we're interrupted by a fish catch here, but give me a breakdown on what's happening with the salinity. So many people talking about how much more it is this time around.
Yeah, the water table is a lot lower right now. It's a super drought, and so a lot of this salt water is backing into here. And in a way, it's actually shrinking the fishing field. Everybody talks about how huge this fishing field is, but what we're seeing is it's backing into these creeks, and it's pushing some of these larger fish up these rivers and up these creeks farther, so it's concentrating them tighter. So if you get in the right area, it can happen really quickly.
Is it generally get more salinity in the summer months
I'm gonna
versus
catch one on that corner.
Yes, because it seems to have, and we used to didn't have this. There's some people that think that maybe we got some new bridges on the Outer Banks with the inlets, and that the water flow is more so now. That's just kind of some conspiracy theories, but it does seem like before, say, 2021, we didn't have barnacles and things of that nature in most of these creeks, and now we're seeing where the saltwater's staying in here quite a bit more. And I know in this past year, like I mentioned, the east winds, we've had a lot of east winds, and it's kept that water backed up because just like the Roanoke River so low right now, it's as low as I've ever seen it, and they're not turning water loose from the lakes, so it's not pushing that salt water out any, it's backing it.
We don't mind conspiracy theories here on the show. Go deep. I mean,
yeah,
it's a good way to find out if anyone's watching.
But it has definitely held the fish in the back of these creeks longer than you would expect. Of course, like Kyle Patrick's catching them on this bridge. These are post spawners that are pulling
God,
out
I'm so excited to go in that
of
shade.
the river there. But a lot of the backs of these smaller creeks are still holding fish because they're just staying in better water quality in the backs of them.
We saw so many shots of anglers around dolphins.
Yes.
Are they catching bass around dolphins, or is
No.
that just they're running into them while?
No. I saw Jordan Lee posted a video, I think, where
Yeah.
he had a dolphin come by him, and when they push a creek like that, it shuts it down like immediately. They run and hide. Yep, it shuts it down immediately. And they've been a lot of those from the 17 bridge on the Chowan up towards Coleraine, which I think is why a lot of the fish have been north of that Holiday Island area. Is you're not seeing as much saltwater species above that area.
Gosh, I've never heard it, but I'm excited at the opportunity of somebody on stage being like, "I was on them in pre-fish, dolphins ate them."
I think before the season started, I definitely didn't have it on my bingo card that we would get to see what a dolphin looks like on forward-facing sonar.
Right.
Not in the Redfish Cup later this year.
They will eat urchin baits, though, I do believe. Actually, ironically, probably makes more sense if a dolphin eats an urchin bait.
You know, we were talking about wind direction earlier, and like someone that could put together two sides of the river, even on a day like this where it's not overly rough, and they can run, but like the Scuppernong. With a southwest wind, the Scuppernong's draining, but it's pushing into the creeks that are on the north side of the sound. So if you get that southwest wind and you've got something on the lower Roanoke or the Kashai or the Scuppernong, you can make that work, and sometimes even piece that together with something on the north side. So a lot of times with the local guys, you have to kind of make that last minute decision just based on wind direction.
It took me months to learn how to say Pasquotank. I mean, I don't know that I'm just gonna let you name the rivers, okay?
Well, and I laugh because every time I hear Bill Owen say the Admiral sound, that's a good one. I hope he sticks with it though, because you might as well go with it now at this point. But it's the Albemarle sound, but he comes at that.
Let's head over to our defending champion, former Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year, and the all-time win
That's a good
margin
one,
record
Tate.
holder, Al Welcher, hooked up
You
live.
got me tangled up. You got one hook. No, he's got two. The big side's still wide open for any big fish out there that's watching stuff. We got jets. It's like a big jacuzzi.
Well, you want Welcher to be in the mix in this tournament. I mean, just with everything he did last time we were here.
And the boat docks are just now starting to get, I mean, we've had a mild spring and the heat is just showing up. And I think the boat docks are going to start playing, and I don't know that they've seen as much pressure as other things do.
Nice. Name as many rivers around here as you can. The count of 3, go.
North River, Pasquotank, Little River, Yopum, Pembroke. We got Scuppernon, Roanoke, Cowan. That's very good.
He could have just said some names that we didn't even know.
He might have. He might have.
I just rotated around the center.
Sorry. There's East River, there's North River.
Alligator
South
River. Yeah.
Of course. We got lots more coming your way. Maxim Tire Bassmaster Elite at the Pasquotank River.
In a boardroom. It was built on the water, obsessed with innovation from concept to catch. Because big bites don't happen by accident. From weekend anglers to hardcore grinders, this is gear built for everyone chasing their next personal best. G-Rat baits, built to catch bass, one bait at a time.
I fish in some of the worst elements across the country. Spring, that's a giant, dude. Summer, oh my gosh. Hi, look at that thing. Winter, it's so cold. And fall, got a big one, that's awesome. Being comfortable and staying dry is the only option. AFCO, any fish, any water.
What's down there? For ages, man could only wonder. Until 1957, when a man named Carl Lorentz used World War II sonar to invent the first portable fish finder. And a company of fishermen, pioneers of underwater intelligence. We're still leading the way nearly 70 years deep. At Lorentz, we make more than marine electronics. We make fishing.
Pro Series jerkbait, baby.
Do you want to fish what the pros fish without breaking the bank? Yozuri has the answer for you, and that's their new Pro Series. Developed by our top anglers in the U.S. market, there's 4 styles within the series. A 110 jerkbait that comes in a shallow and a mid-depth, a 65 and 75 millimeter suspending shad, a topwater popper, and a 7-inch Japanese-style chopping glide bait. Tungsten magnetic weight transfer system, the Yozuri Pro Series is the answer.
You know what pisses me off? That pisses me off. But I'll never do that again. Because now I have a Busby Laura sleeve. You don't understand how good it is until you use it. Keeps my baits looking good, tangle free, unpissed off, and ready to go fishing.
Yamaha V-Max SHO. The power behind a remarkable 6 elite wins plus the 2025 Bassmaster Classic Championship in 10 tournaments. Powerful performance. Legendary reliability. The V6 V-Max SHO. The choice of champions. Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
2026, the Maxim Tire Bassmaster Elite, hanging out here in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and we met this fine part of the world last year, and boy, I was so excited to come back here just because an incredible part of the world. I mean, a beautiful part of North Carolina right along the coast here, but some of the most beautiful people. What crowds we had here. I mean, when you go to a new body of water, you never know, a new venue, what the crowds are going to be like. They showed up in droves. Not only were they a giant crowd, but a very loud crowd last year.
There's no doubt they were super active, and you know, the last 2 days, I mean, I can't imagine what it looked like from being on stage, but if you got here late, you probably weren't even going to be able to see the way in from how far back you had to be in the field. Elizabeth City is absolutely a special place, and super excited, as I know a lot of people are, that we're back here this year.
But don't worry, Kyle Jesse, you could hear me. Because as you know, you could hear me from South Carolina.
You weren't supposed to be watching.
It's true. Generally, you hear me before you see me. Out in the water right now with Kyle Patrick and John Cox. I've been waiting that moment. I mean, I could have lit you up not on camera, but that's no fun. I liked it, actually.
It's a critical part of your job. It's a compliment, if anything.
So, Eric, you're saying that this bridge pattern should get better as the day goes on?
It should, especially on the ones that have the parallel to the water runners, like for the boats to go through. As the hotter it gets, that shadow line off of that, they will tuck right up underneath it, and they actually get shallower. It might be 20 foot of water right there on those S bridges on the Paquemins. I mean, Kyle Patrick right now, he's moved over to a new bridge. And I will say that the water in that particular area that he's in has been salty. So am interested to see if he starts getting some bites there or not, but he might have to circle back to where he was.
Eric, you're an educated man. You've given us lots of great info here. So help me make sense out of this. Kyle Patrick hooked up live.
Strike bass, I bet.
Has all that zinc on his face to protect his nose and lips from the sun. And that's important to care about sun damage, but wears no shoes. Help me make sense of that.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I guess you're at a higher risk of getting skin cancer on your nose than you are your toes. So.
Not if you don't ever wear shoes. The average human, yes.
Eric, what do you think the ceiling is for this bridge pattern? Because I think early on this morning we were watching this and considering it, you know, to be a start for guys like Rain and Kyle Patrick, but all the reports from practice were saying, you know, guys that we're going to run to the Chowan and different places, the 30-plus pound bag potential is going to be there. What is the difference in the kind of ceilings between guys that are doing this pattern and, you know, making that run?
The bridge pattern is going to be 100% dependent on the current too, because I've actually fished this pattern in the last couple of weeks on the Paquemins, and if the wind's not driving the current there, they're not.
Well, it's all going to be about decisions. Last time we saw that the biggest decision that paid off was the decision not to put it in the hands of this mighty body of water, because so much can go wrong. But everything went right for Kyle Patrick or Kyle Welcher. Who picked the boats today? Were they just like, let's cross-thread people's brains? Let's get all the Kyles and put them in one. Why don't you have a camera on you on the water right now?
Wait until Bryant Smith and Brian Schmidt weigh in back to back.
Eric, anything shocked you from here today that you've seen so far?
No, I am shocked we haven't seen as many check-ins from the Chowan on some big fish from over there. I thought the big fish, there's been a bunch of 7-pounders in that area, so I think it would jump up quick, and we hadn't quite seen that yet from the Chowan.
Current leader, Cody, how about 20 pounds, 6 ounces? What's our leading weight going to be here today?
I'm going to go with 28 pounds.
I
like it.
Yep.
Sounds of that, and we'll see that leaderboard continue to change. Max and our Bassmaster Elite at Pasquotank River going to throw the reins over to the Hall of Famers. Davey Heights, Tommy Sanders in the studio.
We identified a few different ways in which we could make, in our opinion, the best harness swim bait on the market. The Swag LT.